I got this wonderful kit, Chrysnbon kit. If you remember, I made the dining table and chairs for Ashton Place, and also the sewing machine, treadle sewing machine for Ashton Place. Really delighted with the quality of these. So I bought the bathroom set because this fits for the period that I feel for the property. So let's show you what there is inside. I've taken these things out the main bag. Swan decals. Don't fancy those. Not going to use those. You never know, they might be used on something else. But it does have the mirror in there and the chain for the toilet. And this is sort of, it says it's polystyrene, but it's what I'd identify as being hard plastic. But there are some bits in white. So this is the toilet bowl and the radiator. Stool. This is bathroom cabinet and toilet lid. Basin and the fittings. These are the feet for the bath. The high level water cistern and all the pipe work. Isn't that already fantastic? And the detail on these is just beautiful. Let me take it out the bag. You might be able to see it a bit better. But the detail is gorgeous. I'm so pleased with those. So I'm going to make these up piece by piece. And what I'm going to do, because I'm not exactly sure what's what for the bathroom, sorry, for the bath fittings, I've got the instruction sheet here. Not exactly sure what's what with that. So I'm going to make up the obvious bits first, like the bathroom cabinet. And if I show you on here, so these are called T's, the little bits that hold everything together. You might not be able to see it, but I might do a close-up shot. There's a little tiny thing there, and there's a little sign there with an arrow, and it says door knob. So just in case anybody's thinking this is a spare little bit of nothing, it's not. It's a door knob for the bathroom cabinet, and that's the mirror. I've got the mirror here to go in the bathroom cabinet. Anyway, I'm going to make these up in individual pieces. I have completed the bathroom for Maggie May's. So this is the kit that I bought, just to remind you. And I particularly wanted a high level toilet cistern. I thought it would fit in keeping with the house better. So that's why I've sold on, or I'm selling on Etsy, the original set that I bought. So I made the bathroom cabinet with a mirror, and I gave it a sort of a whitewash painted. I didn't want it to look white. I wanted it to look like it was wood, but it had a paint effect on it with a bit of gold relief on the top. And I suppose that's a towel rail there or something. I don't know. I might find a pair of knickers or stockings or something to hang over that. It's not really going to be for a towel. It doesn't open, but I have painted in the little hinges there. So that's the bathroom cabinet, the stool, and I have painted most of the white things with white enamel, which has given them a nice glossy, as if it's been painted with gloss paint look. So this is also going to be like a little table, so you can be in the bath and rest your wine glass on there or whatever. So the stool, the radiator, and the little fitting at the end, I put a bit of black on the, sorry, nearly took you off camera, on the end there. I didn't paint this, I've left this the colour it came, and this is probably going to have a towel draped over it or something like that. I did wonder about painting it, but I didn't, and before I knew it, it was stuck together, and I hadn't painted it. So I could go over with some paint on the outside, but then, I don't know, I'll leave it at that. The bath, I painted the feet first in gold enamel, but the gold seems to have gone antique gold sort of thing. I don't know. Gold enamel paint doesn't seem to retain its goldness terribly well. I don't know if it's because the temperature changes when I was in the cabin or what, but I painted the bath itself in white enamel paint, and I've stuck on the tap fittings. Can you see those? Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And these are in keeping with very old-fashioned bath fittings. I used to live and work in a hotel that had baths in the days when hotel rooms used to share bathrooms. They had these enormous, like 8-foot long baths with these taps, and it could practically take you half a day to fill the bath, and if you lay down you'd drown because it was so long. But I do remember bath fittings like this, and then I painted in the little bits of the bath plug, painted in a little black bath plug. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a bit of straw, like a drinking straw, and stick it on there and under here for it's like water incoming, water outgoing, just because I'm going to have that sideways on in the room. You'll see when it's in the bathroom. Not absolutely sure about where everything is going to be, so I haven't decided on that yet, but I will show you when it's all done. This is the basin, and again I did white enamel paint, and I hadn't glued these two pieces together before I enamelled them, and what I realised is this glue which I use is poly cement, which is the recommended stuff for this kind of kit. It makes the enamel paint go a little bit soggy and crackly, but actually in that groove between the basin and the backsplash, that's fine, because you'd expect it to be a little bit funny down there because of that's where you'd have bathroom sealant and stuff. And again, these are really old-fashioned taps with the lever at the side, and I've put them at a bit of a jaunty angle pointing in and painted in the bath plug. And these bits I've painted in black, and this is the fitting that came. So this is going to be stuck to the wall somewhere when I've decided quite where it's going to go in the bathroom. And this is what I really, really wanted, this toilet. So I've gone over this with white enamel again, and I painted the seat with a bit of a, it's already got this wood texture, and I painted the little buffers black and a bit of discoloration, because if you had a wooden seat you would have discoloration. And the lid, isn't that gorgeous? And I have tried to glue this together with the cistern, but the weight of the cistern, it won't stay upright, so it's got to be glued to the wall. So the little chain goes on there. I have shortened this chain because it was far too long. I've never known a chain that you didn't have to reach up a little bit for and pull. I was going to try and record the making of each of these. Really, you need about 4 pairs of hands with any of these kits, and it's sort of like if you work too fast, the glue hasn't gone tacky enough. If you leave it too long, it won't stick, and it's all quite of a fiddle diddle and not easy to do on camera. So I'm afraid when I got to this, I gave up trying to do it on camera because I just found it was accelerating my stress levels. So this will go in there, but I will do that when this is glued to the wall. I will fit that. And there's another little bit, this tiny little thing, I hope you can see, that's sort of like a bracket that's going to go on the wall there to secure that down pipe or up pipe in place on the wall. So that will be fabulous and quite authentic. And I might put a wallet or something in there in a plastic bag, because we always used to hide things in toilet cisterns years ago. So that's that. Wonderful. I will show you as soon as I've done the skirting boards in the bathroom. Now I know what I'm doing, then I can get this fitted. And these are the bathroom accessories that I bought, also from Chrysnbon. It's really quite fiddly. I had to put on my magnifying glasses to cope with these and have a really bright light to work with, but absolutely delighted. So we've got a waste paper or rubbish bin, so I painted that with white enamel. The hot water bottle with a texture on one side, exactly as I remember as a child. This little bit around the top came as a separate piece, and so I painted it. It's looking a little raggedy and worn, but I painted the stopper in black. That hasn't come out terribly well, that side. Maybe I could go over it again, but anyway, it's only going to be seen resting like that. There was a plunger. Can you imagine Maggie May unblocking her own toilet? No, I think she'd get one of the lads to do it. So this came in 2 parts. So that's there, ready for when needed. 2 towel rails, which have got a little bit of a bend in them, but that's okay. Probably won't notice when it's in Maggie May's. And I painted these again with this goldy coloured enamel paint, which has sort of come out quite dull, antique-y brass. It's supposed to be brass, but anyway, it's near enough. She's not going to have bright and shiny things everywhere. She's not a woman who does housekeeping. A toothbrush holder, and on the instructions it says that you can look at these toothbrushes. Got to show you these toothbrushes. Ooh, I was trying to lay them on my palm. So there are 2 different designs of toothbrushes. They're just fabulous. So you can, if you wish, put them into the toothbrush holder and glue them in place. I think I'm only going to have 1 toothbrush in the holder and maybe scatter the others around in a sort of an abandoned way for the visitors. You can just imagine people crashing out on the sofa and then hunting around in the bathroom for a spare toothbrush. Toilet roll holder, and it said in the instructions, which I'd already thought about, if you cut a piece of tissue, this is toilet tissue from my own bathroom, and glue it around just for authenticity. So that is, it doesn't roll. This is all solid, but it does wobble. So that's toilet roll. This is going to go on, let me reach it, the side of the bath there. And I've got a bit of a brighter coppery goldy, no, not copper, goldy brass colour on the top there. Ooh, and the bit that's been soaking in the bath water is not quite so bright. There's a bath soap, so that goes in there. And what else have we got? This is a water beaker holder with a little titchy tiny beaker to go in there. Tooth mug, call it what you like. That could go in there. And you could always put your toothbrushes in there, but they're a little bit lost, but they could go in there. Dress it however you like. There was a bath brush. This came in 2 parts, and that's sort of a textured finish on it. The details that they have in these products are absolutely superb. All the toothbrushes have got this sort of little textured detail, and if you've seen the kit that I made up for the bedroom in Ashton Place, the bedroom dressing table set, that's got brushes and it's beautiful detail like this. I do recommend these sets. I'm not on commission or anything like that. I just think they're fabulous products. And this is a soap dish and a soap. So that's going to go somewhere, somewhere by the basin. Not sure where yet, in the bathroom. And when I was growing up, Mum always used to buy soap called Camay, which had a little sticker on it. I might draw in a sticker actually, which was sort of a pinky colour, and I say it had a sticker, and was it a sort of a picture of like a cameo thing? But anyway, I'll see if I'm going to add that detail or not, but that's a cute little soap. So just taking all those off camera, bring them back. Oops. So you'll see all of these in the bathroom in Maggie May's very shortly. Please subscribe. Thank you so much. And here is the bathroom finished. I just need to put a mirror in there above the basin, looking at what frames I've got. So it's got its high level water cistern. What I didn't do is I didn't fit, where's it gone off camera, this little bracket thing. I was so busy trying to get the toilet lined up and hold this to the wall and get it all straight that I missed sticking that on the wall. Anyway, hey ho, there we are. So it's got its toilet roll in place. The chain is there, which I'd shortened. 1 towel rail, tooth mug, toothbrush holder with toothbrush, soap dish, gorgeous sink. Over here we've got the plunger and the bin and the hot water bottle and one of the toothbrushes. I made these shelves out of some mirror sheets, and I had these, I showed it in a much earlier video. I had these like strips, like you'd have copper or brass tube. I'd got these like perspex strips that I think were left over from somebody's shop. Didn't know what they were. Anyway, I've used those to put in as a bit of beading. Another towel rail here. Bathroom cabinet with a couple of abandoned toothbrushes on the top there. I've stuck a hook on the back of the door. What else have we got? This radiator isn't fixed yet. I can't decide whether or not to leave it there or put it on the wall there next to the toilet. I sort of think you want the radiator near the toilet, don't you? Because if it's really cold and wintry, if there's a radiator, you want it nearby the toilet. This, look at this. Oh, it stuck a bit. Fabulous. Oh, stuck quite a bit. There we are. Fabulous toilet with seat and lid. Let's leave that up if that's being a bit sticky. Bath, and here, let me move the camera down a bit. So I cut a little bit of a paper straw and painted it with some silvery sort of paint to make the outflow for the bath. So the bath has got its soap and brush. This is going to be sort of hanging around this stool. Can you imagine wallowing in the bath? Lovely, with a glass of wine there. And I just remembered I've got a plastic yellow duck, which is at the moment in Bramble Cottage, which doesn't live in Bramble Cottage at all, which I will put somewhere over there. That's going to have some towels on it as well. Didn't really think through the bottom shelf. I made this. Didn't really think through the bottom shelf how it was going to work or whatever, but hey ho, I decided I didn't want to bother putting doors on it. We'll see the towels. And I was going to do a sort of attic shelf cupboard unit in here, sort of attic storage, but then, I mean, I'm standing on a little stool at the moment. You wouldn't be able to see in the bathroom if you're 5'6" or under. I'm 5'6". So I thought that sort of spoils the view of the bathroom really. So instead I might make a chaise lounge to have here in the bathroom, and then all sorts of bits of gubbins hanging around here. Oh, that's from the radiator. It's come off because I haven't, oh, that's upside down, because I haven't glued it into place. That's sort of the valve end of the radiator. So I'm really pleased with that. I need to sort out some towels and various other bits and pieces, and lots of gorgeous bottles to go on my mirrored shelves there, and say sort out a mirror here. I think I've got a frame that I want. I've got a choice of 2 frames. One might be a bit too much to put there, because we weren't terribly plush in the 1970s, but I didn't want to go for an avocado suite. But I'm really, really pleased with the detail of this one. So I am selling in my Etsy shop the one that I had originally bought. Thanks for watching.